All right. So everything's going well. Let me make sure the sound and okay, okay. All right. So this is the first class that I'm hosting for my art class. So,
Yippee!
um,
You're recording, right?
yes, I am recording. Everything's volume's good. They should also be able to hear you in the call like afterwards too. So that's
Gotcha.
good. Um, but why is Colin just saying pussy over and over again? All right. So today the I'm gonna kill him. The main goal of today is we're gonna learn about shapes mostly and how to divide things into shapes. So here are some example shapes. These are like basic, tubes, spheres, uh, prisms, ovals, and rectangles. Basically, anything you ever draw can be divided down into these basic shapes. And if you understand how these shapes work, then you can um, draw basically anything, at least to a simple degree, right? So, I wanted to start off with some very simple shapes. So, if you guys have your, paper and everything, um, we're gonna work on doing spheres, tubes, and a little blob over here. So, spheres are actually super simple. You just start at the top, and then you just have to kind of get an idea of like what hold on, just kind of get an idea of like the roundness of it, right? So, don't worry about making it super nice or anything. These are just sketches. Um, so, uh, you show the roundness, and I like to do like a little like cut it into like quarters, right? And cut it in half one way and half the other way. So then you have um, like a you can understand like see it in 3D space. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
You.
right. Cool. So now that we have basically this and understand how the line goes around the the shape, it doesn't just kind of like go like that, right? It kind of goes like it curves around. Like if you imagine it, it would go like behind it as well. So
I messed up.
that's fine. You could always just make another circle next to it. I mean, it's very simple. Just it's very simple to make these circles. And making spheres is like one of the is what I use the most when I draw. It's and so I've gotten pretty good at it, or at least like I like to think so. And now that you have basically how the sphere looks, uh, just imagine the lights coming from over here. You understand that like over here is where like shadows would be, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So you understand that like a lot of this is like things that are pretty intuitive, and if it's not intuitive for you, intuitive, oh my god, I can't speak. Intuitive for you, then it probably wouldn't help you. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't make sense, uh, like how do I say it? Uh, if it doesn't make sense, there's other ways to do it. But it's like drawing these lines and adding the shadows always helps me realize like the dimensions and the volume of everything, right? So, uh, moving along from the sphere, I want to move over to the tube, which is very simple. Uh, Literally just connect the top of this circle to the top of this other circle in whatever way you want. It doesn't really matter how it is, but as long as the top of the tubes connect.
Dude, I made a crazy ass tube.
Yeah. Hey. We kind of already. Huh?
Did I miss anything?
A little
You
bit.
missed spheres.
Yeah, we just drew a sphere, which is very simple.
Oh,
So it's recorded. So if you want to go back to it, you can see that. But you can also just see my example.
what are the lines in the middle?
In the middle. So that's just to.
Yeah.
So like if you just draw a circle, it just looks like a circle. But if you add these lines, now you understand personally that, oh, this is a 3D shape. You know what I mean? It adds volume. And then from there you can just add shadow. You know?
Yeah.
So that's just what
Is it okay if I use lined paper?
What was that?
Or would it be better? I have lined paper. Would it be better to use blank paper?
It really doesn't matter. Honestly,
Who's here? Mr. I don't want to learn to draw right now. Showed up.
Yeah, after David's incessant bitching.
damn. Fucking assholes.
David had stupid fucking test and dies.
Well, it's fine because you already have like 2 years of detention. So, you're fucked.
Can't wait to hear this in the recording.
Oh yeah, this is all being recorded.
What?
Yeah, this is all being recorded like 1984. So, be careful what you say.
84?
Yeah.
Isn't it that stupid fucking book?
Shut the fuck up. What were you saying before we got here all that?
So we had gone over spheres and now we were going over tubes. I'm just going over very basic shapes. Because you can. The whole idea of this is that you can divide anything into very basic shapes, right? So anything you look at, you can just divide into shapes like that. So the second basic shape I wanted to go over is tubes. So just draw 2 ovals. I would do ovals instead of circles, just because if it's a circle, then you're kind of looking at it straight on. But if it's an oval, it's like facing this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. So once you draw 2 ovals, just connect the tops and the bottoms together.
Colin, can I borrow this paper?
That's crazy. I also like
Eat
to
your own, man.
I also like to add these crosses just to be like, hey, this is one side, this is the other side, right?
So when you do the crosses on those, is it kind of the same with the sphere, how they kind of like roll into it? Or is it just more of like a straight line?
It's straight lines because these are flat shapes. You know?
Okay.
Imagine it like a stretched out can.
My tube was open. I was envisioning a small tunnel, perhaps.
Oh, well, you can also do that. That also works.
Does my line need to be curved?
No, you could also just do like a very normal tube.
No, I mean like on the circles.
Oh, the crosses?
Yeah.
No, they don't have to be. It's actually better if they're not, because it's supposed to represent a flat surface.
Okay.
Yep. Alright, so once you have basically this, or some iteration of this, just take this, take like this curve, and just add it here, right? Just add it again.
Okay.
Although what
Ahead of my time. I did that shit already.
Sick. And then you just do the same thing with the other side. just kind of get the same general shape. And then as you get closer to the center, start like merging these lines.
I already did this. Me and David are ahead of class.
Fucking prodigies. Holy shit. There you go. And so over time, once you do that, you can get the basic understanding that, oh, this is a sphere, right?
It's a tube.
Yeah.
It's, or yeah, tube. My bad. Yeah, tube.
McDonald's play place.
Man, I just draw these shapes. I don't actually know what they're called. So yeah, you have a
That's
tube.
what I'm using right now.
Oh my fucking wrong.
Oh my god. Everyone's late to class, and now I understand how Mr. Avella feels. Holy shit.
Can I use gel pencil?
You can use anything you want. You can use, you can, I don't know, what's funny?
Oh my god, these are the gel pens I gave myself a tattoo with. Or tried to.
That's some freaking puggers.
Graded pencils. What the fuck is a graded pencil?
I'm gonna,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm gonna try to draw shit with my totally legit version of Photoshop.
Although, what program are you using right now?
Right now,
But-
I am using Krita, mostly because it's a free software.
Yeah,
Where did you get
Crit-
Krita from?
it's at Krita.
Yeah,
You
the,
know, the website
I'm
Krita.
going to get Krita right now.
yeah, the website Krita.
Critter is very free.
Very.
Yeah, Krita's good.
Krita is in CRTA or K? Oh, okay. Man, that's stupid. I got it right.
CRT.
That's KRITA.
I really hope I can open fucking Krita without my computer dying.
Although, do you know what a graded pencil is? Cause I've got half of them.
It's got grades in them.
I don't know what this is. So funny, man.
Holy shit, this thing's girthy as fuck.
Wow.
Woo!
That's
So he's got
crazy.
problems, bro. I need Lee to wake up so he can help me. I gotta figure out if this is actually a memory leak or not. This is killing me.
Do I just have like a normal pick pen?
That's a good ass tube, all this shit.
Thank you.
The front on the looking ahead,
yeah.
so it's about to pop.
So spheres and tubes are again how you like make a lot of things. So tubes are very helpful for making like arms or like buildings that aren't like necessarily square, and just different structures and also like organisms like animals or plants, right? And now for the last of the round shapes, I don't want to, take up too much time, but I just want to explain how you would like merge like two spheres together, right? So you have these two circles that you don't want to be two separate spheres. You want them to be one sphere, right? Like or,
Hey,
or
Aldo.
like one shape, yeah?
Look at your Discord DMs real quick. Which one of these am I meant to use?
Uh,
I've got too many
can-
choices.
is it okay if it's in the recording? Because it's just recording my screen.
That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Oh, too many.
Honestly, any one of these are fine.
I've got numbers on them.
I would use not the thinnest one, but like
They're known as Mason.
what are what numbers are they between? Are they like between 1 and like 1 and 10?
Whoever ordered these needs to be fired. Oh, it's probably me. I gotta. Fucking hell.
I would
It
use
says 6. 6B to 6H.
Oh, okay, so 6. I would use like one of the H's, because that just means it's a harder tip, and it's less likely to smudge. Yeah, it is a harder tip, man. And
I feel like Harry Potter when he chose his
Fucking
one.
mean.
yeah, so use like an
Get that wizard, Harry.
H5 or something.
Jesus Christ.
Which one I chose? 5H. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, I think that should be fine. If it doesn't feel right, then just choose one that feels better. It's really
If I
just
break
what
the
feels
nib on this, it's all over.
good. All right. So
When was Critter made? I feel like I'm uploading malware to my PC.
it was made in 1902.
Okay,
It's
dude,
relatively new.
literally, I highly doubt that.
Yeah, that's 30 years ago.
What the
Hmm.
fuck is it?
Krita was made in 2005.
I can't get credit
Oh.
spell. Oh, there we go.
I'm never really
Photoshop
proud
is
of it.
older than Krita, I think.
This is weird. Bucharest, Romania. I'm not. This.
I
We're
will.
good.
I will say it is a lot easier to draw, at least for me, in like on pen and paper.
Traditional.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I don't think I'd be able to draw on Krita if I didn't at first start on traditional.
Yeah, I've heard that starting on like paper and stuff like that is the way to go before you start doing digital. Because
Yeah.
I have a friend who went to art school and it was like the same thing. She started on paper and then eventually made her way to digital.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, so I would just recommend starting on like pen and paper. But if you want to download Krita, go for it. But
Should I be using a pen or I'm using a pencil right now.
pen and paper, pencil paper, same thing. It's really just whatever feels most comfortable. The actual medium doesn't really matter.
Okay, babe.
That's highly unprofessional. I am your teacher right now.
I won't tell the principal.
How do you hold a
I-
pencil? How do you hold a pencil?
This is being recorded, right? Okay.
Yes,
My
it
brain is.
is.
Alright, while we're making
I-
pairs.
I haven't held a pencil since
Yes.
2020.
Okay. We were.
I'm
right.
sorry.
I'm gonna explain.
Did
this
you
really
ask how to
quick.
hold a pencil?
Oh, I don't know how to hold a pencil.
Your
Hey teacher,
joke.
what is a tube?
Here's a tool.
Hey, what's a spear? I'm sorry, Alden, what were you saying?
Yeah, okay, I was wrong. I can't be a teacher.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
For Selma, I was just gonna explain. I'm just describing very simple shapes, so you can break down drawing, like things you want to draw, into simple shapes, and so you can just put these together. And right now, I'm explaining how to, like, basically kind of merge two spheres into like a blobby shape, which is kind of important to know. Right. So, like the sphere, instead of just having lines going from top to bottom, having curved lines coming from the top that you can tell wrap around. Hold on. That like wrap around, going down. So you can tell that they're rounded, and the like the farthest point, like the point that hits like here the farthest, should be the part closest to you in the sphere, right? So this part's closest to me, so that's why that's the like epitome of the circle, right?
What do you mean closest to you?
Like if it's a sphere, the
Oh,
point in the line that is like closest to you, like as the person watching it,
yeah.
like distance wise. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think I get it.
Okay, cool. And so now that you're going down and you're getting to more of this like valley bit, this is when the line kind of curves inwards. You see that? Exactly. So then you can kind of already tell, hey, this is more of a 3D shape. And then, just like the tube, I just go down and just give it rings going down. It's just so you have an idea of like where these lines are supposed to go. If you're looking at something from above, the lines are gonna go like this, right? So we're seeing this one from above, so the lines are like that. But for this one, we're gonna be like, we're seeing this from not from above, but I guess we are also seeing these from above. My bad, guys. So there you go. And then you can see how that's like a 3D shape. Right?
Made a bean.
We did
Where
make
do
a
I
bean.
start?
Where do you start?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so we just kind of started with spheres, then did tubes. If you want, you can just start like where we are right now and just go back in the recording. So let me just real quick make this.
I drew my tube like a fucking idiot.
I'm sure it
There's
looks
a
great.
fucking little tiny bug on my paper. I don't have anything to kill it.
Use the pencil.
Bro, it's so tiny. What is that?
Snack.
Delicious is what I would say.
I forgot how good the ended pencils taste.
What?
Huh?
That's an insane thing to say. You're not real.
I've been chewing on this shit for like the past 10 minutes.
And then, you can pretty intuitively tell where the shadows are supposed to go. Notice how as it gets like closer in, it's more of like, it has more of like this shape. You know what I mean? Like in here. And then at the bottom is really dark because there's no light coming into it. And then should be getting a little light here, and then a little light there.
I might be too incompetent for this.
That's fine. I don't think you're too incompetent. It just takes a lot of practice.
I feel like your line thickness is not very helpful for making ours look any better than yours.
Well, I mean, I've been doing this
It's
for
a start.
literally
with
years. It's literally been doing it for years. So
You're supposed to practice this, John.
exactly.
No,
so-
never.
Exactly. So
How do you draw a circle?
the circle.
No, like where do you start?
Oh, I mean, everyone starts differently, but I start at the top.
No. That's like, how are you doing that?
Look, I'm
Oh, I get
look, I'm dog shit at drawing circles.
I mean, if another way of drawing a circle is just not really caring how clean it is, so just kind of keep adding little strokes to it. And
You're
if
doing a Lego head.
and if one side looks a little bit flat, just give it a little bit more girth in that area. Again, these are sketches. They're not supposed to look super clean or anything. And you get a pretty good circle. And the more you draw circles, the more like the more comfortable you'll feel, like just busting one out, like that. And sometimes I have to go like a couple times before I get a circle I actually like. Like right now. Holy shit. There we go. A good exercise that a lot of artists do is where they just go in and just literally draw shapes on like paper, and like they don't erase it, they just keep making shapes just so they can train your hand to do it automatically. I've seen a lot of artists do that, and I've done it multiple times. So these are the basic shapes. I'm gonna move on from this unless anyone else wants to keep looking at this.
This is basic. These are basic shapes.
Well, these are the basic like shapes that you can break things down into. It's a sphere in a tube, and then two spheres put together. Yeah, I do understand how like it can be like a little bit daunting, but the more you do it, it is genuinely going to be a lot easier to do. Right?
Oh, I'm good now.
Huh?
It's not how that works.
Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, man.
Although we need a brain transplant right now.
Yeah.
Although, how long did it take you?
If
That's not gonna work.
well, realistically, it took me like I don't know my whole life, but I didn't really like sit down and start like studying
I'll have another
art.
20 years, although I'm sorry.
I didn't sit down and start studying art. If I just kind of learned by doing over years. But if I sat down and took classes and like started studying it, I feel like I could get it down in like I could have something good in like less than a year if I started from like just drawing like triangles and circles.
That's really not that bad.
Yeah, and it only gets better from here. That's
You keep learning art no matter how good you are at it. I'm sure Aldo still learns new stuff too.
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm in no way like an expert or anything.
You're not?
Absolutely not.
Are you
But
qualified?
we don't talk about that. We don't. But yeah, it's just you keep developing these skills the more you do them, and the more you put them into practice, the more you realize, oh, that does make sense how that works. I do want to briefly go over vanishing points. This is very simple. I should probably said this. Do you guys have like a straight edge, like a ruler or another piece of paper
I don't
or
know how to
something?
my ruler. I threw
I'll
it
draw a
one day.
3D cube on like an artist now.
I have my hand.
That's close enough. I was just gonna talk about vanishing points. I'm not gonna go too in depth into it because it's kind of more. This is a little bit more advanced, but really there's. Let me erase this layer real quick. Let me erase this real quick. Okay, cool. All right, so vanishing points. There's there's a bunch of vanishing points. It goes up between like 1 and 5, but really I'm just gonna go over 1 and 2. That like 1 point perspective and 2 point perspective, right? So take like your horizon line, right? Which is like just the line that the ground meets the sky, right? At some point in that line, put a dot. I'm gonna put mine like here, right? I wouldn't put it too close to the center, closer to the side, but it really doesn't matter too much.
Okay.
Cool, cool, cool. So, this is your 1 point, right? This is your 1 point perspective, right? So, if you have a 1 point perspective, that's more like if you're looking at something head on, right? So, let's say there's a building right here, right? Just a square, right? Imagine this is a building, right? You're just kind of looking at it head on, but you can kind of see the side of the building. To have good proportions, you would take the corner of this, connect it to the dot, the corner of this one connected to the dot, and now that adds 3D shape, right?
Okay.
Exactly. So you take this line and you just kind of, cut it wherever you want, and then just erase just what you don't need.
Although I have a pen, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Scribble it out.
Yeah, scribble it out, or just pretend it's not there. And
Look
there you go.
off.
And there you go. You have something that has a square with like genuinely good proportions and perspective, right?
Two-sided square.
Square, rectangle, same thing.
I drew a subway train.
Well, I don't know how to help you with that. You can also do it with things that are like in the air. So, say there's like a floating cube in the sky, right?
Okay.
You take your lines and connect them to the corners. And you use them as guides, so, I want to end it like here and here. And there you go. You have again, another shape that has good proportions.
This is taking me back to my middle school art class.
Yeah. And then, so, I mean, these are, again, like, the basics of all... This is, like, the basics of perspective, right? So this is 1 point perspective. And so this... hold on. And so now I'm going to go over 2 point perspective, which is basically the same thing, but literally just 2 points.
Okay.
Yeah, so, very simple. That's an eraser again. Okay, there we go. So let's this time put our points. Let's go 1 over here and 1 over here, right? Now, instead of drawing like a rectangle, you just draw 1 line. That's all you need to do, just 1 line. Let's do a line, just going through the center here, right? 1 line going through the center. So from the top of this line, you would connect this to one of the points, and the top of this line to the other of these points. And then you just do the same thing with the bottom of the line. Right?
Okay.
Right. And so from here, you just draw the line again, but on, like, over here. And, like, I don't know, let's say this side is slightly smaller, right? Slightly shorter, right? You just, get rid of what you don't need. And here is another cube with really good perspective, right? And then again, you can do this again up in the air or down at the bottom. Cool. I just will go over really quickly. I'll go over vanishing points.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry. So with the what is it? The first perspective that we did.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing, when you're doing the black and the air, is the the lines are just wherever you feel. Like once you do the connecting points, cutting it off is just wherever you feel, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you want a longer rectangle, then you would just put the lines closer to the point. If you want a shorter rectangle, you would just put it closer to the square.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
You would need like a ruler to get like specific or something like that.
I mean, if you're like an engineer, but like it doesn't. It's not. It's just however big you want it to be. It doesn't really matter.
I think I would need a ruler because I just fucked my shit up.
Cool, and you pick up today, Ryan?
I mean, if you have a pen, okay. So here's my little.
That's not. That's Tiananmen Square, so no, I don't think you did it right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, what were you saying, Aldo?
My trick for pens is that if you're sketching something or just kind of like not sure about it, just do it like lightly, just like one stroke or like 1 or 2 strokes, right? And then when you are comfortable with something, then you like go over it a couple times and you have like.
Oh yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, so you can still kind of tell which is like, because then like you can still have like these lines going here, but then you know this is what you actually want to look at. But yeah.
I feel like at that point it's looking like a schizo drawing.
I mean, those are the best drawings. So, I don't want to go too in depth into this again, but really, 1-point perspective and 2-point perspective are low key kind of the same thing. It's just that when you're looking at something head on, one of the points is so far off to the side it doesn't matter at that point. Like it'll look fine if you have it or not. So, but it's good to have these 1 and 2. 3-point perspective is for when you're looking at something not from like staring at the horizon line. Like if you're looking at something from a top-down view or from a bottom-up view, you know? And then 4-point perspective is if you like want like a fisheye lens type like deal. Actually, no, that's 5-point perspective, and 4-point perspective is kind of the same thing, but more of a POV type feel.
Are you gonna go more in depth with this later?
I will, but not during this class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just focusing on these 2 because these are like the most important ones you need to know. Yep. All right. Awesome. So, other than that, that's kind of it for the simple shapes. I just wanted to go over how you would like put these.
Horse bad to the bone.
You would, yeah, how you'd put this in like in practical use, right? So I'm gonna do the first 2 with you. Maybe not the entirety of the fruit bowl, but most of it, and then I'll do the entirety of the skull because it's super easy. The Spider-Man already did. So here is the basic shapes of a person, right?
Look at this guy, he's so good.
Yeah, look at it. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. For these ones, I kind of traced just because I wanted to get done quickly, but the concept is the same, right? These are just 14 shapes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 14 shapes. If you can, and there's only like 3 different types of shapes. They're all tubes, rectangles, and spheres, right? And then like 2 triangles. If you can understand how to do these shapes, you can get something approximate to this, right? Awesome. So, I just want to go over like how simple it can really be. Something like this that looks kind of complex is actually very simple if you just break it down to its basic shapes. So, what shapes do you guys see here?
Circle.
Skull.
Skull is a shape. But yeah, I was looking at circle. What else do you like?
A rectangle?
Yeah, exactly.
Like for the jaw, yeah.
Exactly. Circle and rectangle. That's literally all this is. So, I'm going to just draw this over here.
I'm starting to realize why I failed school.
Did you yell at skull?
She draws Tiananmen Square while the teacher is trying to teach us final lesson.
I'm slightly distracted.
I can't do it anymore. I'm praying in my 2 fucking weeks. Holy shit. Alright, so you have your sphere, right? Your circle. And then you have basically a rectangle, kind of pointy at the bottom. So as long as you can kind of like get that, you understand. And it's
Bro, he drew papyrus.
it's papyrus.
Yeah, I knew someone was gonna say that.
You use
Sapphire.
the different layers on top of that.
What was that?
You use never mind.
I for this I just used one layer. But
Oh.
I was gonna say, Sapphire, you're like the kid at the back of the class who's like not really paying attention.
How do you draw trees? I need them to the side of the road.
Like this. Then you go.
I don't encourage her.
I have a question.
Yes.
Thanks,
So
Aldo.
the line that you did on the like rectangle part of the skull, is that just the same line from the circle that you extended, or is that its own line?
That is the same line.
Okay.
Yeah. Cause I say rectangle. It's more of a cylinder, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
But it's like halfway between both, so I don't really care. But yeah.
Aldo, what are you using to record this?
OBS. I'm using.
Is it make sure it's picking up our voices?
It should. It picked up like a YouTube videos recording I did. They're not like whatever. It works, man. It works. Don't fucking judge me. And then from here you can just divide it. Like here goes the mouth. Here goes like the eyes, or like here's the eyes. Here's the nose where it ends. For this one, there's only like 4 different shapes here.
Tube.
There is a tube here, and also here, if you look.
Yeah, I was looking at the bottom of it.
Okay, cool. Yes.
The
So yeah, tube here.
Where'd your Spider-Man?
I don't have an eraser.
A lot of spheres.
A lot of spheres, yes. We also have another one. We have one here. The opening of the circle, or of the bowl. And then you have like a semicircle down here. So it's just like half of a. It's just half of a sphere, right?
Yeah.
For time, I'm not gonna do this one, but I did draw these beforehand. So here's the finished like sketches of all of these, right? Here's like the basic shapes of the bowl. Here's the basic shape of this everything, and here's again the Spider-Man. And then I went ahead and showed you how you would add onto these shapes to have a finished, or like a basically pretty alright drawing, right? So from here you can see how I added, I added the shadows to the back of the sphere, like we did in, like when we did spheres, and then just added, these protrusions for the eyebrow and the cheekbone and the teeth and the chin. and then just added details on top of what was already like here, right? And the same thing with this, just added shading, added, you know, different um, like the stems, the leaves, but the basic shapes were just these, right? And also, I did want to point out how we did blobs. That's exactly the same thing I used for making these pairs that were right here. And also, that's the same concept you use to make like torsos. You know, torsos can be broken down to rectangles, but if you're for males, it's easier to break them down into rectangles. For females, it's easier to break them down into like spheres, just because they have, you know, the female body is usually more curvy. So yeah, that's just how you would use what we learned today and put it into practice. You see? So here you go, Spider-Man. I do want to say the reason Spider-Man looks a little bit jankier than the other two is because anatomy is something that humans evolutionarily have like learned to like understand if it looks weird, right? Like any small differences in anatomy will make it look weird. That's why drawing hands and faces is one of the hardest things that an artist can learn how to do, right?
I hate drawing faces.
Yeah, it's the worst because we as humans understand, hey, this doesn't look right. We should probably stay away from it, and that's the uncanny valley. So,
Makes sense.
Uncanny Mr. Incredible?
what?
Shut the fuck up.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so that basically concludes. Oh, here's like, I was gonna show whatever.
Do a 1-for-1 recreation of the Mona Lisa right now.
I got a bit distracted. I missed out my spot.
I mean,
Oh my god.
God damn it.
I did have a section for Q&A if you have any questions, anything at all you want to know. If not, I'm just gonna draw the Mona Lisa.
Are you single?
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know.
No, he's taken.
Can you go over the combining like circles thing again? Because as you were doing that, I was setting up Krita because I had to update, so I didn't have it ready.
Yeah. Let me just go see if I can. I'm moving everything around. Here we go. Yeah.
Just like do a quick summary. I don't want to take too much time.
Yeah. I mean, it's again just like simple. I just didn't want to draw the circles again. But yeah, just like kind of like give it a little bit of like an indent.
Okay.
And then, like you would do with the sphere, have the curved line come from behind it.
Yeah.
Come down. And then, when you're in here, just kind of pull it back.
Okay.
And then
all right, that's simple.
And then from the top, just kind of do. And it's kind of janky, but you get the point.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Awesome. Cool. So, any more questions? Anything?
This is a dumb question, but after you're done making the shapes, how do you know what to add?
What to add? It's literally just looking at it.
Especially if you're going off of memory, or not memory, imagination.
Imagination, then it literally doesn't matter what you add because okay, so like give me something to like
I don't know.
Wait, what'd you say?
Gun.
Okay, so so you know you have the tube, actually, yeah, like tube here, and then say it goes into like a like rectangle, I don't know. I'm not gonna take too much time with it, so I'm just gonna.
Portal gun.
I'm not trying the
Vulva.
portal. I'm not trying the whole portal gun right now.
That is crazy stuff.
You know,
She
and
continued her Tiananmen Square drawing.
then.
I'm pretty happy with it.
The only thing I can realistically draw are eyes, and even then I'm not even that good at it.
And then, like,
What
Maybe I need to put some squish protester to the side.
Chefe.
it's actually turning out way better than I thought it would. Actually, hold on, and then, like. There we go. So, you know, I have the basic shapes here for a gun, right? And then I just kind of go off of, like, how I'm feeling. So I'm feeling, okay, this one, you know, maybe I want to make this a little bit shorter. So I'll do that. And then most guns have, like, you know, a little thing up here. Or, actually, I don't know what a gun looks like. I don't know why I decided to do gun. This is usually a little bit rounded off, so, you know, do that, erase that a little bit.
Hey man, careful what you point that thing.
You know, it's rounded off. There's usually like a thing here for trigger, I assume.
Whoa.
You know, there's, you know, lines here. If you're going off of imagination, just like how it feels, right? Go off of like the lines here. So if, again, for example, if you have like an indent on the side of the gun here, go with the lines that you already built, right? Make them also go towards the vanishing point. Same thing with this one here. You know, the slot for the trigger also matches with the vanishing point. You know, so.
Sorry, can you explain that again?
Yeah, just, I mean, if you're drawing from memory, it's really just how you what
How you want it
feel
to be
needed.
interpreted, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Could I add to like about drawing from memory?
Yeah.
I've found like whenever I want to draw something that's from mine, even just finding a reference image or like more than one that is similar to what I'm thinking of, that helps a lot because reference pictures like go a long way and you don't really realize it until like you're trying to draw something. Like I said, even if you have something in mind, finding something kind of similar or multiple things that kind of build up to that, I feel like give you at least some sort of starting point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like Colin, you remember I drew that I was trying to draw that portrait for Divided, which is like it was two like opposing sides at a war.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many different like reference pictures I just had on the outside of here? Just like telling me like you just take inspiration from those and then just how it feels when you draw it. Yeah, like Bianca said. So yeah. Any more questions? Anything at all? No?
Never mind.
Okay.
Can we have sex?
That talk to me after class. We'll discuss that. Yeah. So I mean, really, again, I'm gonna leave with a little bit of homework. That I mean, you don't have to do it if you don't want, because I'm not your fucking dad.
I'm not getting graded. Fuck you.
I mean,
wow.
You're the one who wants to get better at art, but whatever. It's just take something. It could be a real thing or a just a reference image you find, and hold on, I'm trying to draw the Mona Lisa here. Just find like a reference picture or a something in real life, like something on your desk or something, and just divide it up into its basic shapes, right? Even if you can only even if you don't make it 3D, just I have a PlayStation controller here, right? So I have this here, I have a rectangle here, and I have another one over here, right? And then I have rectangle here. Like even that would suffice. But if you can add dimensions to it, I would. Just practice this, and then next week we'll talk a little bit more about perspective and shading, because I didn't really go too much into shading. And if we have time, I'll go over a little bit of anatomy. All right?
Okay.
Sounds good. All right.
So everything, every time, usually with this type of art, it's always, the fundamentals always start with shapes.
Yes. Almost any type of art ever, you're going to start with just shapes and breaking things down.
No one ever just free balls it.
I mean, I'm sure people can.
You can. It's just usually it's gonna end up looking like shit.
Yeah.
But and then here's the Mona Lisa for you guys.
Oh shit! You actually did it.
Yeah, and then
that's basically better.
and then it's like green. It's wearing green. There's also green behind her. There's a lot of green in this picture, in this painting. I'm really glad that this is how the Q&A panel turned out. It's just the Mona Lisa and a gun pointed at her.
And a dot in the background.
And a dot. Hold on.
The vanishing point that's not vanished.
Oh yeah, my bad. There you go. And then the bullet.
Wow.
There we go.
Oh, that bullet's too big for that barrel.
It's perspective, bro. It's getting closer.
Nope.
She could tank it.
Tank. I don't
that
think
shit.
that's
How's that?
I said tank, and Sapphire's brain lit up. And the neurons fired up.
Cool, you're just going next one.
Jesus Christ. Firing on all cylinders. Anyways, here you go, guys.
Cool, you want to go next one?
I'm gonna stop the recording.
Of course.
I guess this concludes this first class.
Hey. Never mind, actually.